Hello, my name is John and I'm a runner. And we're going to talk about what that means, what that looks like, and some things that I've learned over the years as a runner. Okay, you've started running. Maybe you've got a pair of shoes, maybe you haven't. Let's say you haven't. Let's say you're just starting out. How do you track these miles? And again, that might not be important to you. Again, if you're doing something like I did where you're doing minutes, and again, Couch to 5K does this too, where you're doing more like run so many minutes and then stop, then walking. Distance might not work so much. Your phone can track that for you. Map My Run can track that for you. Even just there are steps apps you can get out there. There are plenty of free apps. You can get plenty of free things. But if you want to get to that next level, you probably want to at least get the free version of Strava. Strava is, I like to say it's like social media for runners. But if you just use it as this strictly tracking your statistics, it's a great app to track how many miles you put in. Again, it's a very simple app to use. I have the version, I think it was $67 a year, because I'm a nerd now and I do like the social media features and seeing more of my statistics broken down, seeing my friends, my buddies. I can see what they run. I follow quite a few people now that I've met just different places when I've run, or if I'm on social media. Certainly with some Run Talk people, I've actually connected with some people on there, where it's kind of fun to see them running in other countries or something. But yeah, Strava is a good place to go. Map My Run was how I started. I think Nike used to have an app. I think Map My Run is actually Under Armour sponsored. So again, one of those apps where you can track how far you're going, because you're going to want to know. Again, all of us, I think, have something in us that want to know, how far have I run this year? How far have I run this month? Again, those are things that you want to know. So Strava, Map My Run, one of those apps, good place to start. The other thing to think about is your watch. Again, if you are on Strava, then you're a certain amount of nerdy runner. If you've got a watch that's an Apple Watch, it's great. Those things work perfectly fine. They were not designed necessarily with runners in mind, but they work great. Again, they have a lot of other functionalities. A lot of people love their watch, run with their Apple Watches. It's great. The problem with the Apple Watch to me was just it just doesn't hold a charge very long. And again, it's not really designed to give me the statistics that I'm looking for. I have a Chorus. This is actually a Chorus Pace Pro. I started with the Chorus 2. My brother has the Chorus 3, Pace 3. Those are great watches. They're really inexpensive. Again, if you're wanting to get into that field, Garmin has some inexpensive options as well. A lot of my friends run with Garmin's. Again, Garmin has the gamut of how expensive they can be. The Pace Pro that I have from Chorus, I like it. It gives me a lot of statistics. I've now run with a Chorus watch for about 5 years off and on. And so I really like the stats that I can get from that. Other friends love Garmin. Again, those are the two big names. There are others out there you can buy that are different, but those are the two big names, and those will automatically sync up to your Strava. And then you got a myriad of statistics, especially if you pay for the version. It gives you just so many different breakdowns of how you can do. And you can use Chorus and you can use Strava to actually map your training. You can actually get faster and build up your miles with that. I don't use all those fancy features. I pretty much just get out and do what I want to do, because that's just me. Other people can use it to get their intervals, so you can get your speed training up. But again, if you want to really look like a runner, get a Chorus or a Garmin. And then the running community, people will notice you. If you're walking around with one of those watches on, most of the time people are going to be actual runners, or you could be into some other physical fitness, could be hiking, could be biking. They certainly have all those features on there. Triathletes, all those things, cyclists, all those things now are tracked on your Chorus or your Garmin. One thing that is important there is they have a track feature there. So if you're going to actually run around a track, Chorus and Garmin will allow you to get an accurate reading. If you try to use an Apple Watch, I've heard it just doesn't give a very accurate reading on a track. So something to think about. Maybe not. Maybe you don't want to do it, but it is something to at least consider.